All right, agents, let's talk about drones. Now you're probably saying, Jason, you've talked about drones about 10 times already. I know, that is true. We are talking about drones a little bit differently today. We're gonna touch on this weird stigma that is around drones. So it really just seems like nobody likes the thought of drones buzzing around their heads. And honestly, I don't blame them. That's fair. Nobody likes somebody's random drone flying around. You don't know what they're doing or if they're gonna crash into you, and sometimes they're loud and all of that. I get it. But they are a crucial and necessary part of our business and your business, which of course is the business of selling houses. As agents, that is your number one job. And as real estate media professionals, that is our number one job to help you do, right? First of all, us and any other respectable media company out there will be fully licensed and insured and will comply with every law that there is when flying our drones. You can know that everything we are doing just is okay and in the bounds of the law. As we have talked about before, drones help to sell nearly every property better, quicker, faster, easier, any descriptor that you'd like to throw in there just because of what they can do. We'll take a look at some examples in just a minute here. So our drones in particular are quiet and fast, and we get in and get out in 5 to 10 minutes max. They're really not a disturbance. If you are hesitant about adding on drone to your package due to not wanting to bother the neighbors or it's a nice neighborhood, please just try not to worry about that, because I'm sure that when those neighbors want to sell, they would love that drone photography and videography on their packages as well. And every experience that I've had plenty of people come out and ask me what I'm doing. They are all curious and happy, and they all think it's awesome. So if that's what's holding you back, reach out to us, reach out to the neighbors in advance. I promise you want that drone. Now, even if you do add the drone, it does not necessarily mean that it's always going to go well. Take this example that I have here, this beautiful house that I just shot in Newport. Now, please note that the drone is flying over a street, roughly, 100 feet down off this hill. I mean, this house is right on the edge of a drop-off, and it would be impossible to shoot this nice 3-story house from the back like this without a drone. You would need a tripod that is like literally 150 feet tall. It would never work. You could only get about 2 angles of this house. So note, I'm not flying over anybody's yard. I am over a public street, fully within the bounds of the law. And you may notice that somebody didn't really like what I was up to, and I get it. She's trying to lounge here. There's lots of birds in Newport, and she was providing a couple extra as well. And you know what? That's okay. And I get it. She's trying to relax there. I was in eyesight of her for no more than probably 15 seconds getting my shots. She took exception to it, and that's gonna happen. And yeah, someone else, I did mention that there are a lot of birds in Newport, including the 2 that she provided. This guy did not appreciate what I was doing either. He really made it his goal to knock me out of the sky. Again, luckily we are insured and I'm flying safely, so we were never in any danger, but it did make for a pretty cool shot. But again, the birds are flying in Newport from all angles, and sometimes that's just how it goes. So I thought I would just share that little funny anecdote with you. 99.9% of the time it goes great, and the kids love the drones. They're all like, "Oh my gosh, look at that drone!" Then you get to talk with the people in the neighborhood. It's awesome. So just to reiterate why we think you need to add drone, let's take a look at some of our examples here. This house, to be honest, is just a very normal average house. Now, it had a little update on the inside. It was great. But the real selling point is that it was just in the middle of this gorgeous forest outside of Corvallis. You could not get a shot like this without a drone. Same with this next house here, way on the top of a hill out by the coast. I mean, the main selling point is that view out the backyard. Just look at that. I mean, you just can't get this without a drone. I'm not that tall. You might be, but I'm not. Drone just really elevates. If I were a potential buyer, I would see this and I would go, heck yeah, that's epic. Now this next one, Again, maybe it's a property that you don't need the drone. The location isn't really all that important, but you have a house, you have a barn, you have a little greenhouse next to it, and a little attached like ADU living area. It's really nice to get this top-down perspective and see what this property is like. And this is not one of our more expensive packages. It's a pretty basic package that honestly, I think every property needs. Now, let's move away from big properties or big views. This is just an average neighborhood house. I know I've touched on this exact point before, but your average one-story house is going to be over 10 feet tall, which means to get the camera up there at the midpoint of the house, which is where the house looks the most natural, you're going to need to be 5 or 6 feet, which is already having your photographer hold the camera up over their head, which is awkward. Two-story house is going to be more like 20 to 25 feet tall. You need that camera, you need that drone in this instance to be up there in the air, like 12 feet above the ground. That's really hard to do without a drone, just to get a regular nice one-point shot like this. So again, you see photos like this and you wonder why the packages that you are purchasing aren't looking like this. Well, it's probably because all of these are shot with drone, whether you know it or not. So you can use it low, you can use it high, you take lots of photos of birds, whatever you need. I think drone is great and there should be less of a stigma around it. I'm Jason with Reliant Photography and I will see you next time.